네, 안녕하세요. 저는 오디오 리뷰어 코난이라고 합니다. 일단은 만나서 반갑고요. 한국의 오디오 애호가들에게 인사 한마디 좀 부탁드립니다.
Hi Conan, nice to meet you. It's very nice to be here. And hello to everyone in Korea, all the monitor오디오 fans. And we're here today to present some of the products, and we hope we can share a little bit more about the history of mo니터오디오 as well.
네, 다음 질문으로 그러니까 모니터오디오가 1970년대 초반에 설립된 걸로 아는데요. 그 당시에 그 설립 배경에 대해서 간략하게 좀 설명 좀 부탁드려볼게요.
So the company was founded by a gentleman called Mo Iqbal in 1972. Initially founded in Cambridge, in England, with a very small staff at the beginning. Mo was passionate about hi-fi, so his idea was to design the speakers that we would love himself. And that's what led step by step to the company getting some fans, getting some traction, and then growing over the years. What has been always essential in the company philosophy is to design loudspeakers that are transparent. We do not believe that a loudspeaker should add any colors or any artificial additions to the music. We believe that the music and the recording must be respected, and in that spirit we want the speakers to be transparent.
네, 그럼 다음 질문으로 이제 좀 기술적인 부분들 여쭤볼게요. 일단은 그 90년대까지는 모니터 오디오가 일반적인 돔 트위터를 사용하다가 2000년대 들어서 리본 트위터로 이제 트위터를 바꾸게 됐는데 그렇게 바꾸게 된 어떤 이유가 있을까요?
We have changed to ribbon Twitter only on specific products, because ribbon Twitter technology, which in our case will be the MPD that we will discuss later, is a technology that offers a very high frequency response, but it's quite expensive to manufacture. And that's the reason why we continue to use dome tweeters on products like the bronze or the silver series, and we upgrade to an evolution of the ribbon tweeter concept for gold and platinum and above.
그러면 이게 또 트위터에 관한 질문인데 이번에 이제 3세대 그 플래티늄 3G 모델에서는 MPD3가 이제 투입이 됐잖아요, 트위터. 이거는 이전 그 MPD2와 비교해서 어떤 부분 좀 향상이 있었을까요?
Well, we want to optimize the original qualities of that technology, which is the fact that we have a radiating surface which is 8 times larger than a dome tweeter, and it allows us to take the frequency response very, very high, and we have measured it up to 60 kilohertz, which our ears can't really hear. What it means is that you will never push that tweeter above its capacity. You will never push it to be harsh. That said, we are already very happy with the MPD of the second generation of Platinum. But in the 7 years since we launched Platinum 2, we learned a lot. We've developed a lot of other speakers, and we have found a few ways that to get that tweeter to perform even better. What we have changed is the magnetic circuit. We have improved the efficiency structure, and that's mostly with the use of better neodymium magnets. And those magnets are essential to squeeze the membrane of the MPD tweeter. So it was not really about changing it all. It was mostly about refining something that already worked and making sure it works even better. We have also used something that we had designed for other loudspeakers, which is a waveguide. When you look at the speaker, you can see around the tweeter there's a dedicated shape, which we call waveguide, which is there to increase the dispersion pattern of the tweeter. And we are working on that so that we increase the response not only on axis but also off axis, and so that we also better control the reflections on the floor, on the walls, on the ceiling. So again, it's about making sure that all the key qualities of the tweeter are harnessed to get even better.
그러면은 다음으로 이게 미드 베이스 쪽인데요. 미드 베이스 유닛이 보면은 하얀색, 이게 세라믹 그 유닛을 사용하는데 이게 RDT 유닛이잖아요. RDT 3세대 버전이 이전 세대 RDT2에 비해서 어느 정도 어떤 향상이 있었는지
So again, the concept remains the same. It's a sandwich of 3 different materials. And just to put that in the perspective of our overall speaker design, we do not believe that there is a perfect material to design a membrane, because each material in nature has qualities and weaknesses. So since the first generation of platinum, we have decided to mix different material. We have a layer of CCAM, we have a layer of something we call Nomex, and then we have a layer of carbon fiber. And each of those provide different characteristics. In the case of the third generation of the RDT, we have doubled the layer of carbon fiber, and that carbon fiber is quite impressive because it's incredibly rigid and it's very light at the same time. And by adding a second layer, we make the entire cone even more rigid than it used to be. So we basically reduce the risk of distortion without making the driver any heavier or harder to drive for the amplifier. So that's the change on the membrane. What we have improved as well is the rubber surround around the driver, which has been optimized to reduce cone breakup. And we have also added a new component. You can see it here. We have an aluminum ring that attaches the driver to the chassis, and that provides another layer of isolation, because that's something that we always work on. The membrane is just the first step, but the way it plays with the rest of the speaker is highly important, because we don't want to generate unwanted vibrations, so we want to decouple all those different components. And that ring here is one of the main innovations on the third generation of Platinum.
네, 잘 들었습니다. 뭐 드라이브 유닛도 중요하지만 스피커에서 이제 크로스오버 디자인이 상당히 중요하잖아요. 이게 크로스오버 디자인에 대해서 좀 더 구체적인 좀 설명 좀 부탁드릴게요.
Crossover design is one of the many examples of how we design loudspeakers. At Monitor Audio, we design every component ourselves. We never purchase OEM components, so the drivers or the surrounds or the crossover are all designed by our engineers. And because we believe that a loudspeaker is a combination of different elements and they all must work together nicely. So for the crossover, we start with the simulation phase, like we do with all our loudspeakers. We use some very advanced simulation techniques, and we simulate the response of the driver with the crossover to find out if they play well together. Then we make changes still at the simulation stage, and then we design the driver based on the crossover we want to use. Once we have done that, we have a very extensive listening program to test if our measurements actually provide a good sounding loudspeaker. And when we do that, we still make fine adjustment on the driver and the crossover at the same time to make sure that we can change both accordingly and ensure they play together. So we never use a standard crossover that we duplicate from one speaker to the other. Every crossover is unique because it has to play with Platinum 200 or with Platinum 300. For Platinum 3G, we have also worked very closely on how we position the layout of the crossovers to make sure there's no coupling between the different crossovers, so that there's no conflict between what the crossover will do for the bass or what it will do for the tweeters. So they are placed very, very carefully in the main crossover board and within the loudspeaker itself. We also choose the components carefully with air core inductors being used on all our loudspeakers, and with a dedicated component for the bass drivers as well. They're often overlooked by some loudspeaker designers, and in our case, we pay just as much attention to them as any other component.
네, 국내에 모니터 오디오 팬층이 상당히 많습니다. 저도 오랫동안 모니터 오디오에 대해서 많이 좀 알아보고 많이 계속 들어보고 그랬었는데, 한국의 모니터 오디오 팬들에게 한마디 좀 부탁드릴게요.
Korea has become a very important market for Monitor Audio. It has always been, but in the last few years with the partnership with our distributor J1 Korea, we have seen a very nice increase of our business in Korea, and for that I would like to thank all our dealers and all our customers in Korea, especially when it comes to our high-end loudspeakers like Platinum, like Gold. Korea is one of our top 5 markets, which is something that is very exciting for us to have that support from the market. And I hope you will enjoy listening to the Platinum 3G as much as we enjoyed designing them. I'm looking forward to presenting our flagship loudspeakers later this year. We will be introducing our flagship, which we call Hyphen, which is much more high-end than Platinum 3G is, and which we designed to celebrate our 50th anniversary, which was a way to make a no-compromise loudspeaker using everything we've learned about the last 50 years. And I think it will be a very exciting launch, and I'm looking forward to presenting that speaker to the Korean market.
네, 여기까지 오늘 모니터 오디오 담당자분께서 오셔서 저랑 여러 가지 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 모니터 오디오에 대해서 요즘에 이제 플래티늄 3세대 제품이 나왔는데 제품에 대해서 많은 이해가 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다.